my pajamas. Good morning. How is everyone today? I can't believe Mother's Day is in a week. This year is just flying by. This is a new color I haven't really tried out a ton. And I want to say it's quinacridone magenta. That could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what this color is called. Mix it with some Potter's Pink. So I'm looking for kind of a purpley mauve color. This is a round size 8 brush. Shout out to my Loose Watercolor Academy students. You guys are amazing. I can't have music on in the background because of copyright stuff. And so it feels weird to just be painting in silence. So if you have any questions, please ask them, because then I can chat instead of just sitting here and painting, which I'm fine with too, but might be more fun to watch if I have something to talk about. I am using a reference photo in a way. So I painted a really quick bouquet this morning so that I would kind of have an idea of what I was going to paint. And I'm using that rough painting as my reference photo for this painting, which is kind of fun. If you saw the thumbnail, that's the painting that I'm looking at. And so far it's turning out completely different. But hey, that's okay. Let's see, have you ever used the Dr. Martens liquid watercolor? Yes, I have one color from that line. And while I love the color, I am not familiar enough with the consistency that I like it. It acts almost like a stain rather than a watercolor. So when I put down the color, it's there. And I am not quite used to that yet. So I don't use it a ton, but I do use it every once in a while, and I really do like the color. Which brand of watercolor paints do you prefer to use? I stick to professional grade watercolor paints and typically use Daniel Smith and Winsor & Newton. Those are my top brands. And then I have a couple of other brands kind of scattered throughout. Some are M-Gram, Holbein, and Schmincke, but all of them are professional artist grade. Let's see, actually, I'm gonna start adding in my greenery now. every flower in here needs a stem, but I'm not going to be careful about trying to match one for everything. I just want to make sure I have enough down here that it makes it look like I have enough for what's going on up here. Okay, I shared this trick last week in my last live video, but this green, I'm going to add in some of this purple mixture right in there. Not enough that it really changes the color, but enough that it just kind of ties in everything. Let's see. Sometimes putting the pieces together is really tricky because what worked on my sketch isn't necessarily working here. So I kind of have to adapt and mix it up just a little bit, which can sometimes be a little bit tricky. Like in my sketch, I had these two sprigs coming down, and I'm almost wishing I didn't put those in this one, but you live and learn, I guess. Which watercolor brushes do I prefer? I prefer round brushes and the Princeton brand. I love all the Princeton brushes that I've tried, but this particular brand is their Heritage series. And I don't know, I just really like the quality. I like the bounce back of the bristles, so I have more control. There's a lot to love about it. Okay, there are some weird things happening right now, and I'm gonna figure out how to fill it all in, but there's like this weird little thing up here happening that it doesn't really feel like it belongs anywhere else. And then I've got these over here that kind of don't feel like they belong. So just slowly adding things in until it all feels like it's cohesive. These brushes are synthetic brushes. Bristles, I mean. So I could have easily been discouraged when I was looking at this and seeing how things weren't really coming together, but I can't really start over. I don't really want to start over, so I'm just going to press forward and adapt. That is the number one skill you should learn with watercolor flowers in particular, is learning to adapt. Okay, let's see. Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm happier with it now that I've kept going. But for a second, things were starting to feel a little bit weird. Oh, my child is screaming upstairs. I'm sure he's crying over something silly. He's 2. Real life. Can't edit out the screaming. He's happy now, though. Those little tantrums, they're big, but they don't last long. Okay. what camera and or stand are you using while you, I can't read everything because my screen is cutting it off, get such a good view of your desk. This is my camera that I use for filming. It is a Panasonic Lumix, and I've got it hooked up to my computer with a cam link, and then so that it's not upside down, I have it set up with a C stand. So it's quite the production over here, which you can't really, well, obviously you can't see, but if you saw my desk, maybe I'll do some behind the scenes stories on my Instagram so you can see my setup. And if you're not following me on Instagram, it's Snowberry Design Co over there. Alrighty, let's see. I think I'm pretty much done. I'm just going to add a few more little details and then call it good. So if you have any questions, whoa, what's happening in here? I must have got some green in my eye swindle in yellow, and it's turning it this weird brown color, which you can't see because it's out of frame, but trust me, it's a weird brown color. But I'm going to use it anyway, so here we go. I try not to stress too much about if things go wrong or if things don't turn out exactly how I pictured them. Okay, now I'm going to show you my original sketch and you'll see how different these are. I'm going to let this dry just a little bit, and then I'm going to add in some finishing details with my size 0 brush. Alrighty, and I'm, yes, still wearing my pajamas, so so you can see this was my, let's see, this was my original sketch. And I just did it really, really quick so I could kind of get an idea of what I was going to be painting. So this was the original, and then this is what I just painted. So they're pretty close. Things that were working in this one, like these little sprigs right here, didn't necessarily translate, but we just made it work. Anyway, thank you. This one's much looser because I went way faster. And so a lot of really gestural lines. But anyway, that's the photo I was using. And let's see here. Using a size 0 round brush and going to add in some little finishing details. Oh, thank you. My Loose Watercolor Flower Academy students, I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live next week, and I'm thinking about demoing these peonies. So if you're watching, let me know in the Facebook group if that's something you're interested in. And I'm happy to answer your questions in there too. Okay, this is done. A very fun, full Mother's Day bouquet you can paint and give to your mama. All right, I'll hang out for just one more minute and answer any questions if you have any. And then right after this, I will do a Instagram story showing you my desk, my mess of a desk, and the behind the scenes. It's not glamorous. But if you want to see it, head over to my Instagram and I will save it as a highlight too if anyone's catching the replay later, if you're interested in that. All right, have a beautiful weekend. I will talk to you guys later.